Hello everybody, it's Ken Faulkner, and if you've been following along with the Faulkner 5, you know what time it is, because you got the blue breakdown, tear down mat, what do you want to call it, ready to go. We got the Pictus number 5, Faulkner 5, number 5. That means we are close to the end. We got 2 more videos to do. Yes, and we're going to take this one apart today. And, you know, each one of the other 4, I thought the action was great going in and didn't really feel the need to necessarily do anything about it. But I did want to take it apart to kind of see the internals and, you know, give it a clean out. And each one did have a little bit of improvement in the action. So this one, just like the other ones, has incredible action. I was carrying it today and just really thinking about what it feels like. You know, I grab it out of the pocket and, you know, it goes in my hand and it just naturally fits and goes to the right position. My finger goes naturally to this slot to deploy, and zero like having to adjust in order to get to it. It just goes right there, fires out, it's ready to go. And yeah, this has really been a joy to carry. I haven't carried it as much as I should have after the show. There's other, you know, when I bought it at Blade Show in Atlanta, there's a lot of other knives. There's the Aurelia. That's another one that is really awesome, and I haven't carried that enough. Just so many that I really need to. I mean, I wish I had. I don't know how to do it. I mean, because I got so many knives. Really got to think about, you know, what I can do to kind of narrow down, get down to. And I've been thinking about it. I got some ideas. I don't want to talk about it now, but I got some thoughts about what I can do, and I think it might be fun for everybody that watches the channel. So we'll see what happens with that stuff. But today we are all about this knife, and you can see there's no place to put a screw on here, so we got a captive pivot, which is awesome. I mean, you know, it's not the end of the world when you have to get out to bit drivers, but just needing one is so much better than having to have 2 out. Let's see if we got T8s all the way around. And yes, all the exposed screws. Now we must have a screw for the clip, but probably won't need to take it apart. But we will check the hardware for that. Also, the inset liner lock will have some screws, so we'll take a look at that once we got it apart. So yeah, this is the Gecko's Custom Pictus, Faulkner 5, number 5, and as of Sunday, it'll be complete, and I'm looking forward to it. So we'll start with a pivot. We've had such good luck, and I hope that this will continue on. Put that over there. Nice pivot collars on there. Yep, the screws are coming out nicely. I've never had a problem with these loosening up either. So, I mean, I do appreciate that they are snug and yet not heavily. Wow, look at the length of that guy. I'm thinking this one goes all the way through to the other side. I guess I should have looked at that, but we will look at it. I think maybe that there's only screws on this side, and I didn't pay attention to that before starting to take it apart, which is bad on me. But not the most professional YouTube personality or reviewer, or we already got that pivot collar coming out, and we got that other long screw. They look like they're identical, and we do have a back spacer, just a short one, a little hook on there, looking very nice. All titanium, I'm sure. I'll double check with the Olight magnet here. Yeah, nothing. Zero magnetism. Even the hardware. So I don't want to drop this hardware. I thought actually even the pivot hardware is not steel. I think we do not have a steel insert on the lock, so yes, that is steel. And I don't know if I can catch it. Yeah, looks like this screw here as well. So not really a screw holding in the inset liner. It's got this tab here, kind of holding it in place. So I assume that this will pop out, but maybe I won't even worry about it because it's not necessary. And this internal screw for the clip is also T8, so not a T6 in sight, which is really nice. I know some people would be so thorough as to take this apart, but you know, I think the detent on it is exceptional, so I don't see the need to mess with it. That's just me. Okay, so we'll leave that T8 in there because we won't be needing it. And look, it's like an internal stop pin that runs around. It's got this little open area right here. I think I talked about that on the last video because I could see when it was closed, I could see the stop pin. But in reality, there is a track. It's not totally enclosed. So at this point, it does open up. And then it is stopped here at the closed position. Very interesting design. These bearings also look quite interesting. Let's see how this works. Okay. So it does have a steel washer on the scale side. And then it has a, it looks like it's going to be, and we can check this easy enough. Okay, it's sticking to the blade, but it's not sticking to the bearing. Somewhat of a small diameter on the bearing, but it is ceramic with brass, whatever you call that piece. I know I've heard the name of it. And we have the open side outward, so we'll remember that for when we, and then the washer is facing the open side of the bearing. So when we put it back together, we'll make sure we do that. The stop pin comes out pretty easy. Everything looks pretty darn clean to me, but we will clean it up. Pivot comes out nice and easy. It is two-piece as well, so it's got this pivot collar, which is like a full washer. I wonder if that has to do with the captive part of it, because you can see the design has like a little slice out of the bottom of it. I'm not sure exactly. It may be, we'll turn this over and let the bearing come out. And there's our washer. So see if we can get that out. It's in there pretty good. So on this side, yes. So you can see there's a little, I hope you can see that. Yeah, you can. That there's like a little D-shaped thing all the way in there, and that is what is making that a captive side here. So that has to line up, and then the pivot also lines up with it and locks it in place so that it will not rotate. Nice little design. I think that's pretty good. Seems like a lot of people have different ways of doing this. There we go. We got the washer out pretty easily with the magnet, so it really wasn't stuck in there. And of course that's going to be steel. Because we don't want the bearings, I mean, I guess some people do have the bearings up against the titanium, but it's kind of nice to have that, maybe called a race washer. I don't know exactly what you call it, but it is just, you know, as the bearings are going around, they are on the steel, a little more hardened material. So very nice. Got some pockets in here, both sides. Yeah, it's all looking pretty good. So let's clean it up. We got our cloth here. We got our just regular 70% isopropyl rubbing alcohol. All right. And we'll see if any real significant dirt comes off of here, because it looks pretty clean. Not seeing a lot in there. Still very clean. And I think maybe there's like some dust, some like pocket dust, you know. And again, as I was saying, after taking out the screws, you can see that the threads are in the titanium right there, and they don't come out on this side of the scale. So this is completely sterile. No screws. It just has that captive pivot that is very clean looking. So it's got an excellent aesthetic. Just so nice. Big access to the lock bar there. Just well designed. Super well designed. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more stuff coming from Gecko Customs. I guess they did a lot of modding before, from what I saw, because they had other brands that they had done work on in the past, and now maybe I'm not the expert, so if my information is wrong, I apologize. But now it seems like they're getting more into making their own knives, which is very cool. So yeah, very, very nice. This does not have a lot of branding on it. There's very lightly says S90V right there. Probably can't get it to focus, but S90V. I think this is the first one in the Faulkner 5 that actually had a normal detent on it. There was the Remet, which had the lock on the pivot, and it had a very interesting detent that I kind of noticed, and I didn't really understand exactly how it worked, but yeah, I really think that's very interesting, and I haven't taken it apart since then. I'll have to do that sometime. Look at how clean, look at how beautiful those grinds. If I put it on camera, it'll help, huh? Look at how clean and beautiful. Oh man, a lightweight blade too, because it's got such a deep hollow. It just feels really nice. It's going to be fun to try the cutting on this one, see how it does. Hopefully we're going to do well with that. Probably won't need a lot of sharpening, but we'll do that as well, because I've seen improvement with each sharpening on the Faulkner 5 as well. So we're going to continue the pattern that we've been doing. It's pretty intensive with the 4 videos every week. I don't know that I'll do this on the next go round on the Faulkner 5 or Faulkner 4 or whatever I end up doing next time. I don't even know which one. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm locked in on Atlanta, but Texas, I went last year for the first time, but that was because I didn't go to West that year. So I don't know for sure what my plans are for Texas. Just gonna have to see where finances are at that point, because it's been a little rough this year to save up money. I'm guessing that there's a few people out there listening that can attest to the same situation. I know I've heard people saying that they didn't make it to Atlanta because of money, and some people are going to West, but a lot of people that I know aren't going to West. So, but really, if you can only make one, Atlanta is the big one. It's just that West is the closest one for me, although Texas is not too far. But as far as flying in there, it seems like a little easier in Utah. Atlanta and Texas kind of far away from the event center when you land at the airport. Okay, all cleaned up. Oh, let me do this guy too. That's just a nice touch the way they did this. Lots of nice little features on this knife overall. Okay, I think I got everything cleaned. So we'll start reassembling and lubing as we go. So this is the side with the D. So we'll pop this in. Make sure it's locked in. And this also has that D cut. And that's it for this side. Get it in there and in place. Look how beautiful. Just nice and sterile. You got the on the blade you have the gecko, which is very subtle, and you got the S90B on the same which side is it? On the other side, but so subtle. And I think even when it's open, it's not even shown, which is a nice touch. So we're gonna put that down. Now, on this side, we're gonna go ahead and put the washer in. I don't tend to go too heavy on the lube, just a little bit. I am going to clean out the inside of the blade where the pivot goes and around the pivot a little bit with the little swab thingy things. Make sure we're getting that completely clean, because that is an area that may see some friction. Okay. And now, so I'm just going to throw a little drop of lube on my finger. Take this little bitty bearing, which seems to do an excellent job, and we have those facing towards the washer. Oops. Come on. Facing towards the washer. And we're going to put our stop pin back in. And now we're ready to throw in, I think I got enough lube around the pivot. Put our blade on. I really like that design for the stop pin. I think that's excellent. We're going to go ahead and place this in, and the screws will go all the way through and into the other scale through the backspacer. We will now get this washer, or this, this bearing lubed. Facing the open side out, and we'll put the washer on it. And I think the lube that's on the bearing, it should be enough. Looks so clean. Look how clean it looks. When I was taking this off, I'm going, wow, it doesn't look like a normal bearing until I got that washer off. All right, so that's going to be it. As long as I can keep the backspacer in the right position, that is going to be it. And then we'll go ahead and lock this out so it'll snap down. How are we doing on that backspacer? Put that screw in. Make sure the backspacer is lined up. Put this screw in. Make sure that backspacer is lined up. Very nice. Very nice. Maybe I'll give these a couple of turns just to make sure they stay in place. So easy. I think the more you you take these knives apart, even though each one is slightly different sort of experience, certainly from different makers, has different experience. But each time you do take a knife apart, you get more confidence for sure. You got more understanding about how most knives are put together, like as far as bearings and things like that. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to do. So there was, of course, there's always got to be some little hiccup in the process. I do want to put a tiny little bit of the heavy lube on the detent, and I think it's just because I haven't really needed to use it. This is KPL heavy, and this will help the smoothness of the action by just lubing the detent hole and then the track a little bit. You don't need much, and it'll definitely work in as you open and close the knife, so that should be plenty. Okay, so that was it. That was the big disaster, which wasn't much of a disaster. Let's get this lined up again. I think that's got it. Let's double check. Nope. Gotta get that lined up with the screws. And now I'll drop it down and pop it in. I think I'm good. Put this back together. You always just got to make sure that when you're screwing in any threaded piece, that you don't feel any resistance, because you do not want to cross thread any of your small little screws, especially something like this where the threads are inside of the other scale. With those being inside of there, it would be quite a feat. There might maybe inserts in there or something like that, but you'd have to drill those out and replace them. That would be quite a traumatic thing to have to deal with. So that's it. Just two screws and one pivot. Are we locked in? Let's check it. Oh yeah, feels good. Maybe a little tight. We'll check it out. Tighten these guys a bit. All T8 screws, very nice. Yeah, it might be a little tight. Feels like there's something a little loose. Okay, that might have popped into place. Yeah, so you can see I had a significant tightening. So something wasn't quite clicked into place, but opening and closing at one time kind of got everything lined up. Man, that feels good. We are centered quite well. Yeah, the action does, I can feel a slight improvement. We might even be able to tighten this up a little bit more and see how we do. When it's a well machine, when the tolerances are tight, you can tighten it more and the bearings will still. It's a little bit, so maybe I'll loosen it a tad to get a little bit more drop. Not that that's like a big deal. That feels pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, it's dropping. So the only kind of resistance when I don't have pressure on the lock bar is the fact that that detent ball is rolling through that track. But with a little bit of that KPL heavy, I guess the heavy is good because it kind of keeps it in the area. It doesn't run around and out as much. Make sure we got it all nice and clean. Man, that's a beautiful knife. Another complete success. Man, it's gone so well. Incredible experience with this Faulkner 5. It's been a lot of work with all the different videos, but see, it's a detent. Yeah, it's holding. Will not shake out. Hear that little? That's what's sucking in. Yep. Yeah. I think it's tuned okay. We'll see over time, and when it's not under the camera. But it feels like it's good. I can always just adjust it a tiny little bit if I need to. Drops really nice, really nice. Okay, guys, that's the Pictus. Nice and simple, clean designs. Just, you know, you saw how the inset. It obviously is well fit in there because, you know, it would have taken something to pull it out. It is two pieces, obviously, because this is steel and that's titanium. But, you know, as long as there's no issue with it, I don't think there's any real reason to pop that out. Certainly it was clean enough inside that there's probably nothing in there in between there. So, all right, guys. Yeah, I might give this another. Still nice and tight. Drops nice. Still centered. Yeah, that's a little better. There's this just subtle little differences in how tight your pivot is will change the action just ever so. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's good. I am happy. All right. Well, thank you guys for going along this journey. We've got 2 more to go, and we'll be moving on and dealing with getting some videos at the show and showing you what I'm picking up and kind of sharing that whole thing. It's definitely part of my collection experience, my knife collecting experience. And that's what I really like to try to bring across in this channel. You know, taking apart knives, cutting with them, cut testing, not a big part, but it is an interesting thing. Sharpening, all these things. I'd like to take you along the journey with me. All the cool knives and why do I like them? And what do I like about them, what I don't? What, you know, you can decide if you think, you know, something that I you know, have an issue with, it might be something that you like. So I like to try to be pretty honest about it, but I'm definitely going to tell you my experience, but it doesn't mean that it's everybody's experience. So don't just, you know, don't just say, oh, Ken liked it, so it must be good. But then I would be pretty close to telling you that, yeah, this is a good knife. All right, guys, that's good enough. Enough talking. Wow, almost 30 minutes. It's going to take a while to load it. We'll start getting this up on the YouTube. So you guys have a good one, and I will see you on the next one.